Hello and welcome to today's stream, the Thursday stream. Yesterday we were having power surges and I wasn't able to stream this. This game actually came out yesterday and I was looking forward to playing it day one. But maybe I should count myself fortunate because they did put out a patch for this game. This game is called Adios. Yeah, they put out a patch for it just like later yesterday, I think. Either that or earlier today, I don't recall. But it's gotten an update. Apparently there were like a few issues that still needed working out. This is available on itch, Xbox, and Steam. So, kind of pick your platform. If you want to support them the most, itch and Xbox would probably be the best route. So I've been looking forward to this game for a while. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm Doc Burford's friend, also known as Doc Squiddy on Twitter. I was about to say like Twitch and all these other ones. He does also stream, but mostly he's a games writer and he works on games and whatnot, and he's been very good to me. I think I've been good to him. I'm not sure. I have a respect for him. He's a very smart dude. I don't always agree with his video game opinions, but he's a pretty cool dude with awesome ideas. I really hope this game does really well for him. It's, unfortunately, I don't really have like a lot of reach. Kind of wish I had a lot of reach so that perhaps I could get more attention to this game. There's only 2 people that worked on it. Only 2 people that worked on it, and yeah, so it was a small team effort. And we're going to be dropping in on this in a moment, but now also new things. I just finished the thumbnail, the thumbnail format for the YouTube videos. This is actually going to be the first video to roll out with the new thumbnail. All previous videos are still going to come out with the usual just kind of random screen grab, whatever YouTube feels like. But from here onward, I'm going to endeavor to put a thumbnail on every single one. It's just that little bit of extra effort that makes everything look kind of nice. A lot of thanks to my friend Tabby, who made my icon, who actually the pattern that's now on the Twitch channel, it's on my Twitter header. I'm going to be making, I think it's on my YouTube header as well. Hold on. I think it is. No, it's not on here yet. I haven't put it on the YouTube yet. But that'll be a thing. Hold on, I could do that right now as I speak. Because I made the banner for it. Oh boy, maybe yeah, okay, I'm gonna need to. That's gonna require some work. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Yeah, but that's gonna be. I'm rolling out theming. Finally, we're gonna have theming. Haven't quite done that yet on the Twitch channel cards here. We just have the regular starting soon, but that'll be hopefully changing soon. I've been working on a bunch of the channel elements, so yeah. Like I said, thanks to Tabby, my friend, who I commissioned for both my icon and I got the pattern from them very recently, and that's going to be something you kind of see everywhere. That's going to be present in a lot of things. But if you're just joining, hello, welcome. We're playing an indie game. You never quite know if you're really friends with somebody on Twitter, but I'd like to consider our Doc. He's a good man. I'd consider him a friend. Cool dude. But we're gonna be getting started here. I have, since I've been excited about this game for the past, I think, like 3+ months. I have not watched anything about this. I dreamed about it, maybe about like 5 nights ago, but I have not actually watched any trailers for this. There was a previous game by Doc that was really good, and he did a lot of a majority of the writing for it. He did a really good job on that. He's no longer a part of the company that made that game, so I don't feel like even mentioning it, because he doesn't get any money from it anyway. He's a real smart dude, real nice, real genuine, well-meaning guy. I honestly recommend buying Adios. If you don't want anything spoiled, this is a narrative game, so, you know, it is also the only things that I know is that it's kind of linear, that it takes place in Kansas, and you are a pig farmer who no longer wants to dispose of bodies for the mob. I am to understand that a gun exists and a hitman exists who may or may not want to actually kill you. And it all takes place in one location. That is all I know. Also, I know this is going to make me sad. From the way that Doc has talked about it, and some like few reviews that I've seen, I've just glanced at because I don't want anything spoiled. This is a game that's gonna make us sad. I saw a review on Steam that said that somebody who played this, they looked outside and just wanted to take a long walk after finishing the game. So I'm hearing it's good. I'm hearing it's very good, which is kind of what I expected. So I'm going in here with like some pretty good expectations, although not like sky high. You never want to set yourself up for disappointment, but I'm sure, you know, I've enjoyed Doc's writing in the past. I reckon we're gonna enjoy this. Don't know how long this game is. We might get through it in a couple parts. We're gonna be continuing with Skyrim tomorrow, but let me just get the game up finally. It's been 15 minutes. Oh, and yeah, I'm gonna pause that. Yeah, all right. There's some weird. Oh shoot, is it? Please don't tell me it's being a butt here. There we go. There's some weird resolution shenanigans that happen with this game, but I already know one feature this game has that makes me incredibly happy, and it's the fact that even though resolution is a bit wonky, you might have noticed it just did a thing when it did that. I can press F11, and then we're golden. It's kind of like Minecraft. except not. But I'm going to make sure this is fit to the screen. Fit to screen, yeah. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness, confirm, whatever, man. This is the only issue I've run into, but that's like, you know, I still hear good things, so I'm not, and they're still working out the kinks. There's still some features that are yet to put in. One thing was sort of like a new game thing. Give me just a moment. All right, and I'm back. Let me go into Stream Manager here. My second monitor is coming in today, but I don't have it yet. So there may come a point where I'm like, hold on, guys, I gotta go get my monitor. So as I mentioned previously, I saw Jawa show up and then he disappeared. I'm gonna hassle him about that later. Jawa was on the stream day before yesterday. We played some Black Wake. That was fun. We are playing this on max settings, so it looks as pretty as it possibly can. It's all dolled up for the ball, or whatever that means. What am I talking about? So, also, if you're wondering, that is not the resolution we're running at, and we're not in windowed mode. This is a bit odd. I don't know, but I can, like I said, I press F11 and it goes full screen. So regardless of any resolution issues, like, that's perfect. That's fantastic. That fixes any issue that I could have. Generally, I try to run things in a windowed mode, but once I get my second monitor, I might not, because it's very nice to sort of use a whole screen here. But we're gonna be, man, I'm kind of anxious going into this now, because I've been excited for this for a while, but I don't entirely know what to expect. What's our audio settings here? We're at 100. I'm actually going to dial up the volume a bit on my end. We'll see if we change that. But yeah, this is Adios, made by Mischief. I'm not actually entirely certain who all made the game. I know Doc Burford, he made it, Doc Squiddy, and a guy, I think, the other guy who's involved, I think his last name is Nelson, but I'm not sure. We're going to eventually see the credits of this, but I did not inquire. And I probably should have, but let me just double check the settings here. Our bindings, pick up and throw, crouch, sprint. I don't know what dialogue 1, 2, 3, and 4 is. Oh yeah, okay. That's the other thing that I know about this. You have dialogue options, but there's only one way this will really end. There is not, as far as I know, like I said, it's linear. There is no branching narrative. We are here to experience a story and empathize with somebody and feel really sad. Welcome to the sad stream. I'm still going to be joking, but I might cry. I don't know. This might be the first cry stream. All right. We're on a... Okay, that van. I have a feeling... Hold on a second. Mess with my sensitivity a little bit. Okay. Tell him I'm done. Okay. Ooh.
I can't do this anymore.
What?
This.
What, mornings?
No. All of this.
You mean the deal?
Afraid so.
What do you mean? You need better pay, different hours?
No, nothing like that. Just, done with this.
Uh-huh. Okay. You wanna...
No.
Suit yourself. So, you're done, huh?
Yep.
You do understand what that means, right?
Yeah, I do.
I don't think you do.
I do.
And you still think you can quit?
Yeah, it's a free country.
This isn't that kind of job.
I know. But, all the same, I am done.
Nothing I can do to change your mind.
Now, you are welcome to try.
Well, let's go get some coffee. Talk things over. Come on.
This at the confession. I don't think we really confessed anything. Except that we...
Smells delicious as always.
Sadie was the real cook.
Hey, don't sell yourself short. Not much that's better than your home-cooked eggs.
Hope you don't mind. I left out the bell peppers this time.
Can't stand them.
Sadie always liked peppers, though, so I put up with them.
Not to change the subject, but how long we been doing this for, you think?
15 years, just about.
Summer of '78. Why'd we meet? When was it?
Bill was sick.
And you couldn't afford a doctor.
We'd have managed.
But you didn't think so at the time.
Suppose not.
Well, here's what I remember. I had a problem that night, and Jimmy was trying to help me solve that problem when who should come in through that door but you?
Jimmy was always bragging about connections back home. I thought he could help.
Jimmy knew we could help each other, so he called up Tony. We agreed, made a deal. We all agreed. Ugh. Anyone ever tell you you're no good at making coffee?
Every time you visit.
Thought you'd have got it better by now.
Well, Sadie made the coffee. I made the bacon.
It's good bacon. You know, when I was a kid, I thought pigs were all pink with curly tails.
Yorkshires are. Mine are red wattle, American breed. Not a lot of them out there, you know.
That's so.
Mm-hmm. Always thought it'd be nice, to raise pigs that was different. I had some Yorkies way back. Must have been, I don't know, before the service.
Long time ago.
I'm an old man.
You and me both. So why the Waddles? Funny name.
Like I said, American breed. Nearly went extinct. Thought I'd do my part to keep them alive. And it tastes good.
You aren't wrong. You know, the other day, I was reading the paper.
Look at you, an intellectual.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, I read that pigs were as smart as us. You believe that?
I suppose so.
How smart do you reckon?
Smarter than a dog.
Think we could teach one to play fetch?
Bill taught one, actually, back at 4-H. Called it, Henry.
What happened to Henry?
Well, Bill had to learn how to butcher sometime.
We all do. Do you think the pigs know?
Know what?
That they're food.
Oh, pigs don't think like that.
How do you know?
'Cause I know pigs. Pigs ain't like us. Well, sure, they're smart. They eat, they sleep, but they do not plan. They don't think about the future.
And I suppose you do?
Every man does.
I think I'm just about
Just take a sip, sip, sip.
What do you say I accompany you today?
What, help out with the farm chores? Shovel manure, milk goats, stuff like that?
Sure. Always wanted to know how to milk goats.
As long as you're okay with shoveling manure first. What about your sidekick?
Protege. When I retire, he'll be the man you'll be dealing with. Good guy. Smart. Discreet. Ambitious.
Like you, I guess. But, listen. I told you already. I'm quitting.
We'll see.
Okay. Alright. Okay. We're free. Run! I was gonna try to hop the fence. Oh, okay. There's, Huh. So from what I understand, this game took about 2 years. Ew, these pigs are ugly. Approaching scene. The shovel.
What's the wheelbarrow for?
Hauling.
Hauling what?
Shit.
And what are we supposed to do with this crap?
We are going to fertilize. Well, not now, it's October, but we're going to put it in a nice big pile where it belongs.
We?
Well, you did say you wanted to help.
Yeah, guess I did.
So help. Pick up that shovel over there. We'll shovel it in, wheel it out, dump it, and we're good.
And you do this every day.
Mm-hmm. Most every day.
And you want to keep doing this every day.
It's my routine.
Shoveling shit.
Someone's got to do it.
That isn't the first time you've told me that.
Oh, yeah?
Vietnam.
Yeah.
You know, I did some digging on you. Personally, not the shit kind. Know what I found?
I reckon you'll tell me.
You went back. What happened that day in the valley?
You saw the report. I'm not going to talk about it.
Come on.
No.
Suit yourself. But you've got a medal. You didn't have to go back. Got a wife and kid here. At a time where most of us were trying to figure out how to stay home. You went back.
You going somewhere with this?
Think it'd be fun if you told me why? While we're shoveling shit?
I was recon. You know that, I reckon. He was in the hospital, staring at the ceiling, magazines next to me on the bed. And I had this, moment. A moment of clarity.
A revelation.
Uh-huh. And the revelation was this. Them protesters weren't doing a damn thing. The hippies and the bands weren't changing anything. You know who was?
The Russians.
No. The news. You hit someone hard enough day in, day out with the realities of war, pretty soon they'll tire of it. Vietnam, that was our first time that close to war. So, I figured, you ain't the only one of us who's killed people. Turned it down for the same reason I went back. They were telling us our patriotic duty was to go and fight for our country. Well, that's what I did.
You weren't recon when you went back, though.
Went back with a camera. Talked them into letting me help with the press, keeping them safe and all that. So I did. And I took pictures. Took all the pictures I could. I fought in a different way.
Did you win?
We pulled out a lamb, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. And now you're here. Great big war hero. Shuffling shit.
Shoveling shit.
Okay, oh. Is it just, we're just done with the poo-poo here? Alright. I mean, I don't really need to check the thing. I got the markers telling me where all the chores are.
I've always wondered what was in this shack.
Have you now?
Figured it was just some old shack at first, but every time I asked what was in there, you haven't been forthcoming.
I have not, no.
Tried to take a look in the window once.
Did you now?
Got a light?
Ta-da! Beautiful, right?
Pop machines. Here, I figured you had a deep, dark secret.
We have a deep, dark secret. This here is one of my hobbies.
What, collecting them?
Well, sure, I collect them, I guess, but that's not really the point.
Is there a point to any hobby?
It depends. What I meant was that it's no fun to just collect them. I fix them up. That's where the real fun is.
Makes sense.
You got any hobbies yourself?
Me?
Well, who else am I talking to?
I mean, who doesn't have hobbies?
Well, what's yours?
Reading, I guess?
Reading isn't a hobby.
Yeah, of course it's a hobby. What do you think libraries are for?
Everyone reads. Heck, I read the paper every day, but reading isn't a part of your personality. It's just a thing people say they do when they don't have any other hobbies.
You really believe that?
I knew someone who read every single day. She said she loved the smell of books, the texture of the pages on her fingers. She even bound books. Her hobby wasn't reading, it was books.
You put too much thought into this.
Well, a hobby is something you do because you're passionate about it. If it's something you're not wholly in love with, then you're still trying to figure out what your hobby is.
You got a problem with my passion?
No, you said I guess. No one says I guess when they love something.
Is love a requirement for a hobby?
Absolutely. Love's a requirement for many things.
And so you love fixing soda machines?
That is correct.
Why?
It relaxes me.
I don't know. Soda
I'm trying to throw this away.
I don't want to fix. Don't people get paid to fix them?
I don't know where.
It is unusual, but when the missus and I would get into fights or when things was bad or I was anxious, well, I don't know. Well, Sadie's sister, when she passed, told me that it was all right to cry, that it wasn't weakness, that it was okay. And I remember sitting there in that empty living room with everyone murmuring and telling me how sorry they were, and I didn't feel like I needed to cry.
Didn't you miss her?
Of course I did. Still do. But I don't know. Not everybody needs to cry. I don't need to cry. I don't get in that way, you know? Weakness? I don't know what she was talking about, weakness. Crying never felt weak to me. That's just not how I am.
Can't remember the last time I cried. Maybe that movie about the boy and his dogs.
Oh, always cry over that one. Dogs are good. Innocent. And when a dog dies, that always moves me to tears. But Josie insisted. Then she kept insisting. Then, I don't know, I think she got offended I wouldn't cry, as if she loved Sadie more than me. And she made me feel like I was something wrong. Of course, that wasn't true. There wasn't nothing wrong with me. I just I wasn't like that. It wasn't what I needed. It wasn't how I needed to grieve. This is how I grieve, this right here. When I got a problem, I fix it. And when I fix it, I fix a little part of me. And I don't know how or why, but
Hey!
it's a healing.
I got it in the
That's
bin.
why a man's got to have a hobby.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I figured, you know. I figured if someone's got to know, this is my quiet little hobby. anything I do to help you work out my worries.
Well, looks like you fixed this one up real nice.
I'm proud of it. Proud of all of them. But I'm proud of this one most.
Thank you for taking the time to show me.
There's another reason I wanted to show this to you.
What's that?
If you want it, it's yours.
What am I gonna do with a pop machine?
Well, grab yourself a nice, refreshing drink of soda every so often, you big dummy.
Wait,
This machine is missing that that nice kerchunk of the stuff coming through the machine, like being dispensed.
Memento, let's keep this train rolling. We can work something out.
You come on back by, pick up the soda machine. Take it home with you. Or don't. If you really got no use for it, I won't be offended.
Think it over. What's next?
Oh, okay, now you can't hop the fence. You actually have to go over to the... Where's the gate? Is this a gate? Okay. You can kind of tell. The horseshoes.
Why horseshoe?
Well, why not horseshoe?
Doesn't it feel stereotypical?
Well, look around you. My nearest neighbor lives, half a mile down the road. It ain't the city. We don't have nightclubs and pool halls to go hang out at.
Pool halls? What is this, 1890? This is 1992, friend. We got shopping malls for teenagers, restaurants, clubs, whatever. But pool halls? I don't even know if they had those when I was a kid.
Time doesn't pass out here as quickly, I suppose. No need for all that stimulation.
Ah, so you play horseshoes.
Mm-hmm. Or read a good book. Develop photos you took for yourself. Go fly
Well,
fishing.
it won't let me pick it up.
Quaint, but idyllic. And you just want to give up this home-cooked paradise?
Oh. Okay.
That's lonely, too.
You could get you a nice place in the city.
Never was one for crowds.
Thought you said you were lonely.
I'd be just as lonely in a crowd. Sadie, nobody else could
Okay.
really see me, understand what I was. After Saigon, when I got back,
Oops.
all these people were hugging their loved ones or protesting or whatever, and I don't know. I never felt more alone in all my life.
Oh my goodness.
I was home. I should have been happy, and I wasn't.
Well, it wasn't a popular war. You lost friends too.
Yeah, but I got home. It was dark, and there was Sadie waiting for me. Porch light like a halo around her head, and I knew I wasn't alone anymore.
So you came back to your high school sweetheart.
I thought he'd have married.
Trying to
her.
sabotage
I
him.
didn't think she'd wait for me.
Why not? You're a handsome guy. And all sorts wanted you, especially back then. Women love a man.
Oh, he beat us.
You see that house on the hill?
What, the burned out one? I always wondered what happened.
Gary Gordon, of the Gordon family. Went to high school with us. But, well, most of us were farm folk. Sadie, her dad, was the county judge, so for us that's pretty high society. The Gordons owned a lot of land, and all that passed to Gary after his ma died. In high school, he'd been our quarterback after his pa paid off the school, but he wasn't a bad athlete.
Good-looking guy?
Oh, a real James Dean. And he had eyes for Sadie. The poor farm boy who couldn't play on the team versus the star quarterback. Shit, what kind of contest was that?
Hey, who wouldn't want all this?
Man, yet when I came home, there she was.
Where was Gary? He served too?
Ah, Gary was too rich to serve. Star quarterback had some health exemption. Didn't get drafted.
Uh-huh. So then, where was he?
Running his dad's business. Trying to win her heart. Didn't work. Well, she invited him to the wedding. I didn't want him there, but, well, you know Sadie.
Uh-huh.
Well, Gordon's owned most of the property around here, including the 200 acres surrounding that hill.
Right.
And he built a house.
How? Wait. That house?
The very same.
Looks like it was a mansion.
It was.
Why'd he build it?
I don't know. To remind her what she'd given up, maybe?
So, what happened to the wealthy Gary Gordon in his mansion?
Well, he built it one year. Must have been 1966 or so, and he went inside and he just disappeared. Then one night, about a year later, there was a storm and boom, no more Gary Gordon.
No more Gary Gordon. Huh.
Maybe he was lonely too.
Oh, I won. Guess this city slicker's still got it. What's next?
Don't rub it in. I'm gonna go, now we'll save feeding the horses for last. Alright, you better keep up. We're running. This is part of the routine. We're getting our steps in. Oh, wow. He actually does a pretty good job at keeping up. Is he? Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. He can run pretty fast. I can run pretty fast backward, too. Is he like properly on the ground, or? Nice shoes. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Resume. Alright. Piggies. Okay, we gotta do something involving... Oh, the goat. Greatest of all time.
You know, back home they call you the pig farmer.
That description is apt.
And yes, you also have goats.
I do also have goats. And a horse. And I had a dog. Tried cows once. Bill raised a newt or something, but it died.
Most people have, I don't know, chickens and cows. You got goats.
Is that judgment I hear?
No judgment, no. Just wondering, why goats?
Goat milk.
Can't be much profit in that.
Well, there's enough. Besides, I had you.
Have. You still have.
As I've said, I'm no longer interested in that particular revenue stream.
We're the ones who sever ties. And you don't want us severing ties.
I believe I made myself clear.
You know, I feel like we've had this conversation a couple of times now, and you still don't seem to get that I'm done with this line is just going to look really silly at the end of the day.
You were asking me about goats.
Yeah, goats.
I like them. They like to play. They'll eat just about anything. The milk's an acquired taste, but I've always liked the cheese. Meat's good with the right curry. A friend taught me that a while back.
So, you like them for the utility?
I like them because they're playful. Want to get started?
Started?
Milking.
Oh, hey, really? I've always wanted to try that.
Well, here's your chance.
Are we really gonna
Goats are
milk
smart. They know
goats
what's
live
up.
on stream?
They'll just walk up.
Oh, hello.
Here they are. Come on. Now they'll just take their positions here like they should. Got feed all ready for them. Just you take a seat there.
Not very comfortable.
Suppose not. Yeah. Now that we're serious, just grab the teat with your thumb and forefinger.
And pull?
No, don't pull. Just sort of rhythmically squeeze with the rest of your fingers. Gently, pushing the milk out.
Like this?
Just like that, yes. All you gotta do is do that till the goat's out of milk.
Huh. This is kind of nice.
I found it relaxing.
I think I could get used to this.
Why don't you?
Say what?
Why not get used to this?
What? And come work with you?
Sure.
Yeah, some folks might take issue with that.
Well, can't make everybody happy. Better than ending up shop.
I actually know for a fact there's an achievement for this, I think. But I wonder if I can not do it. Can I actually refrain from trying to do it? What if I what if I shoot the goat? What if I... Hold on, it says shoot. Shoot? Hold on, what's actually happening? It says... Oh. Oh. It says shoot in the top left. Is this the milky? Is this how you milk? Oh! Oh! That's what's going on.
Hey!
That's what it was telling me to do. Okay.
Oh, gun down. Life over just like that.
I usually get to shoot back.
We all wind up
Okay.
dead in the end, don't we?
I was so
As long
confused.
as possible.
What good is that?
Living?
What good is living if you ain't happy?
Who says I'm not happy?
I'm not.
You could be.
I don't think I could. Well, that does it for the goats.
I feel like I was not really involved in that.
What I've been saying?
I haven't stopped.
Yeah, that bucket's empty. Why is that bucket empty? Did you drink it?
I have not.
I was hoping I could squeeze through there and say hi to the goats. Okay. I'm curious. What's back here? I suppose we'll probably get to see that here in a bit. The style of this car kind of reminds me of... whoa. His head twists back. Oh, boy. His head twists back. Look at him. Poor man. What kind of condition you have that you can sort of move your head around like an owl? For the gram. Alright. Let's see. Now we got the horses. The horse is the last thing, right? Oh, I love this. Also, I'm running and I'm sprinting in all different directions. Doc, you madman. You absolute mad lad. Okay. Let's hoof it over here. The horse.
Don't you own a tractor?
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, pigs I get. Goats too. Some fellas have chickens and cows, and that's all well and good, but what's the point of a horse?
That's one chonky horse.
They're God's most beautiful creatures.
What, you just keep a horse around because they're beautiful?
Horses belong on farms.
Uh-huh. You Haven't got a saddle for him, so you don't ride him. There's no racehorse. Can't eat him. What's the
Chunky, chunky. Make him even chunkier.
Farm without a horse. Gotta have a horse.
And what's this about them being beautiful? Beautiful, really. Beautiful, he says. Spindly legs and bloated bellies and those weird teeth.
That's fun.
Something wrong with that. Aren't you going to say something?
One day maybe this fella will understand. There you go. There you go.
To me, I mean.
I keep apples here because he likes them. Likes the salt lick, too. Want to feed him one?
Nah, I'm good.
I insist. Feed the horse. Do it.
Suit yourself. All right, here you go, boy. No, I gotta get going. Why don't you walk on out to pasture, Red?
Horses give me the willies.
Can't see why.
Horses are low-key kind of terrifying, though. The raw power they have.
You know what
Oh my
this
goodness.
is? Tree. Well, you ever seen a tree like it?
A tree's a tree.
Remember all them roasted chestnuts at Christmas?
Oh, sure. I mean, I kind of figured. Been by often enough to see the chestnuts myself. Why? Is it special to you?
This is an American chestnut tree.
Oh, hey, Saul. He's telling us about his American chestnut tree.
American, huh? Thought they all died.
What?
You remembered.
Pays to remember things.
Like the American chestnut.
I'm a little lost here.
Oh, a couple weeks back, Saul came by, said you couldn't make it. Business as usual. Saw I had a bucket of chestnuts, asked if pigs could eat them, so we got to talking, and I told him about chestnuts.
Uh-huh. And what did you learn?
Pork tastes better with chestnuts. And most American chestnuts have died off.
It's true. Long before you or I was born, the American chestnut was prized for the quality of its wood.
Jimmy'd like that.
Oh, that he would. But this tree, there ain't many like it left. American chestnuts almost all died out because of the Asian fungus around 1900 or so. The chestnut blight.
That's what, like a couple 100,000 trees?
Oh, billions. 4 billion trees snuffed out practically overnight. Well, lumberjacks suddenly out of work in places like West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
Economies never recovered.
I thought West Virginia was coal country.
And logging, too, before it all died off. Now there's trees like the General here, making nuts year-round. And I feed them to the Reds, and they grow nice and fat and tasty.
Seems lonely.
It is lonely. Heartbreakingly lonely. To know everyone else you ever loved has passed on. So, I look.
Oh, his tie's clipping through his coat there.
I don't know. Sadie and I, we talked about being buried here, you know.
Changed your mind?
Brody's grave was enough for me. But, I don't know. I thought about having him moved. I don't know.
You've got plenty of years left in you yet. So, what's the moral of the story? With the trees, I mean.
Be wary of outsiders.
Heck no. There are trees out there that are blight resistant. Maybe even the General here, but I'm too afraid to find out. With enough time and horticultural understanding, we could have done something.
Preserved all these trees?
Maybe we could have. They are magnificent. It's just that... I don't know. I wasn't trying to teach you a lesson or anything.
But you did make a point of it.
I did do that. It's a part of me is all. And God willing to live for 100 more years. I don't know. I see myself as a custodian of sorts. And one day
Saul, go ahead. Wait for me at the van. Look at me. You're thinking about dying. Thinking you could pass this responsibility off to someone else. You don't have to do this. Give the tree another decade of your time.
Well, the time my demise aside, someone ought to know about the tree.
Jimmy'd love to know about this.
Oh, Jimmy would cut it down.
He would.
Please. Don't tell him.
Hey, I'm good at keeping secrets, but Jimmy's Jimmy.
Please. Let me rest here. And if there's a way to... Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Hey, you got more to show me, right?
Here's the other thing I saw, this garage.
Garage, huh?
It's the only thing I've
It won't
seen.
be complete without the garage.
I have to ask, why a sports truck?
I think they're called coupe utility, but, I mean, why not a sports car?
Yeah, I mean, I always figured you'd have a midlife crisis like the rest of us. Sports car, motorcycle.
I want to hop into the back. Let me go.
Couldn't really say why I love these so much. Saw mine one day, fell in love.
With that.
There we go.
I had to bring her home with me.
Oh, now I think okay. Thought I was trapped.
But she won't run.
No? Well, pop the hood. Let's take a look.
You're serious?
Sure. Already had my midlife crisis.
Motorcycle?
Sports car. And these puppies, well, you know, they're similar enough. Some of them even use the same engine. We can figure this out.
All right.
Okay. What happens if I... Oh, pop the hood.
Now,
There we go.
see.
Yeah, alright.
Can you
Heh,
see that drop
clunk.
light? My eyes aren't what they were.
What's the drop light? Alright. This thing. Right over here. Hey. There you go. Attached... Oh, attach it to the hood. Okay.
Sure thing.
Okay.
Saul's a good kid.
What's that?
Saul was a good kid. I like him. It was nice him coming back.
Yeah?
That's weird.
That's good to hear. Never met anyone with so much promise
Never?
in my entire life. Saul's dad was a good man. I think his kid had it. As a boy, he was too soft. But then he got older, graduated college, really came into his own. Eager, more capable than he knows.
Great listener.
Can you believe we were his age once?
Hard to admit. Yeah? And now?
Today I learned from you and him about chestnuts.
Well, learn something new every day, I suppose. You check the spark plugs?
Give me a second. What about your boy?
Bill? Oh, he's fine, I guess.
You guess. How old is he again?
Born in 60, so, 32 as of September.
Huh. Roy would have been about his age.
Yeah?
Wow. What's this about you and Bill?
His neck is not agreeing with that animation.
What? Bill? Tow-headed little guy, always friendly and outgoing. Fat Bill?
It's about Sadie.
Oh.
Hey, mind if I ask you a completely unrelated question? What's with the airplanes at your neighbor's place?
Oh, Chuck's farm.
Chuck. Huh. Yeah, what's with all the planes? There's no runway around here.
You know how farmers are. Hey, have you checked the air filter?
Yeah.
Check the whoozy what's it? The little thing right there.
I've never seen anyone
Check that thing, whatever that is.
What are they? World War II?
Yeah, give that a few turns, whatever that is.
No kidding.
You got no idea.
Just reach in there. I'll try to turn it on while your hand's in there.
Well, a B-36 is a big old bomber made out of magnesium. Biggest America ever had. Took 2 train tankers to fill one up. And you could fly from Monday to Thursday without refueling.
So why does Chuck have one in his backyard, plus all the others?
Asked him about that once.
Okay. Wire's loose here.
Where?
Right there. So, what'd he say?
Oh, dead navigator came to him in a dream.
What?
Mm-hmm. Dead navigator from the Korean War came to him in a dream. Said the planes were in danger of being lost, and it was up to Chuck to save them.
So, Chuck's crazy.
Well, eccentric, maybe.
Can I land on his head?
Yeah.
Oh, it bounces me off.
If I did, I'd have a different job. Why, do you?
I figure we all move on in some way. Energy is neither created nor lost and all that.
So you're saying a dead navigator came to a farmer in the middle of nowhere, no offense, told him that it was his job to preserve airplanes?
Yep.
So now there's a bunch of planes on a crazy coots farm.
Man, he keeps them safe. Can you think of a better place for him to be?
Want to try running it?
Sure.
All right.
One more time.
Looks like
Ooh.
there could be a few more years yet. Yeah. Remember Slick?
Sure.
He always wanted one of these.
Where is he now?
Fighting Saddam. Jimmy tried to find out. Classified, I heard.
Good kid.
Angry.
Well, maybe when he gets back.
Thinking of giving him the car is what? Thanks for his service?
I never wanted to be thanked for mine. That boy's seen more hurt than any of us. Deserves better than that old Pinto is.
Yeah. Well, where's he then?
Huh. Oh, this is where. Ba-bam!
Shotguns, huh?
I always liked shotguns.
Like?
Still do.
Oh,
I like to myself when it's for sport.
Got a few of those.
Oh yeah? What's your favorite?
Them big slab-sided.
you don't even have to aim at these, I don't think, really.
What about you?
Oh,
Nothing special, really.
that's fun.
This is a shotgun.
Yeah, you don't even need to aim at it.
Figured we could shoot the skeet. Always liked shooting the skeet. Taught Bill to shoot this way.
You're a good father.
Couldn't have been better.
So, how do we do this? Who's going first?
You can go first.
Give him the shotgun.
Then, this is more my speed. Hanging out, shooting guns. Maybe a few beers next time.
I'm not sure guns and beers mix, friend.
Oh, sure they do. Like peanut butter and very dangerous chocolate. Next time. Trust me, next time.
And there isn't gonna be a next time.
Oh, there's always a next time.
This is it. After today, we are done.
I'm trying to tell you, I keep trying to tell you, there is no out. There is no done. You keep doing this. You never do anything again. It's permanent. Put.
And it's kaput.
You don't mean it.
If that's the way it's gotta be.
You have a choice.
You haven't listened to a word I've said.
I've been listening. I've been listening all morning. I've been listening to you talk about being sad and lonely and refusing to listen to reason.
I have my reasons,
Your reasons aren't any good.
but they're mine.
Walk me to my car.
I keep forgetting to talk, say anything, like, because this is really in.
So, this is it then.
It is.
Why? Why are we doing this?
Because I need to.
We're friends, goddammit. You don't get to get all stoic on me.
Hold on. Sorry to stop you there. Show interface hints? Yeah. We'll get rid of that.
I know losing her was hard, but there's gotta be something. Gotta be.
I can't take care of the farm like I used to. There isn't much point anymore.
So sell the farm. Move into the city. Meet someone new.
Do you believe in hell? Do you believe in hell?
I'm not scared of hell, if that's what you mean.
I didn't ask if you were scared. I asked if you believe.
I don't know.
Well, I do. And I think doing this, I think that's where I'm headed.
And what? You think you can buy your way into heaven?
I can't take back what I've done. What I can do is do something right.
Why?
Because I want to see her again. That's all. I just want to see her again. And I figure I'll do one right thing with my life, just one thing. Maybe I'll get to see her again. One more time.
This is your one right thing.
It is.
How do you know? How do you know if any of this is true?
I don't know. But I got the notion, and the notion's got me. So, least I can do is tell you adios.
Just like that.
What else is there to say?
Which I guess.
No.
All right then. Have it your way. I'll be back this evening. You get an afternoon. Do whatever you gotta do. Just leave the door unlocked.
I can do that.
Adios, Brendan.
Be seeing ya.
And all this started with shoveling some poop. The house is very quiet, very somber. So if you remember, I said at the beginning that this game is about, my character who is a pig farmer who, up until recently, you saw the guy's van. We were dropping little packets into the little gate, little fenced area with the pigs. And hold on, give me just a second. Alright, and I'm back. Sorry about that. There was a delivery. I think my second monitor came in, so I'll probably be hooking that up later. So, let's Royal corn. That's a legible label. Take the corn in the can, put it in there, and just burn down the house. Go out on my own terms. Hold on, is there only so far I can go with this? Yeah, it only lets me go so far with it. Yeah, this was the salt shaker from earlier. Oh, okay. If I dip it upside down and shake it. No. Tuna. Slap soap. But yeah, we're playing as a man who he's been disposing of bodies for the mob for a while. He's had his pigs. He's been using his pigs to. Whoa, it gets real dark in this corner for some reason. Oh. Well, that closes fast. Kansas. But, unfortunately, you know, you don't ever just stop. You don't ever just stop doing things for the mob. Once you're involved, you're pretty much involved for life. You try to back out, you know, you're normally as good as dead. A little tea kettle. I have a tea kettle. I want to get like an electric one, but prudent leaf. Okay. So we got here too. Oh, are there? Can we? No, I can't investigate any of these. Really wish I could operate the lights here. Just kind of going around. To basement. And I think the other guy we were talking to, he's an aging hitman who's known our guy for like a really long time. He's kind of the correspondent. He brings the bodies and we help dispose of them. But he feels, you know, he's, oh, yeah, let's just, you know, sit on the couch, watch some TV. I kind of wish I could like activate this and it would just be static, you know. I don't want like any like actual TV programming, just you turn it on and it's static. The lock boxes. There's like another one like over somewhere else. But you got these different books. Burford, that's Doc Burford. Jackson, Annabelle St. John, Oxspring. I don't know how many of these things. I think there's like a few references to like other things. I want this couch. I really want this couch. Oh yeah, those little like dinner little table things. All right, what's in the basement? Do I want to know what's in the basement? Oh. We have We have guns in here. We also have spare toilet. Spare toilet? Or wait, no, is that the actual bathroom? Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, well, I have to. What is that? What is this? Fools. Questions. Huh. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Can I just you can throw it on there. Hold on, if I can I find a new bug for you? Okay, it really does not want it for it to sit there. Oh. Things sound better on cassette anyway. Oh my gosh. There's so much music in here. Was this like his son's room? I reckon it was. His kid was radical, had a skateboard, and listened to Beethoven. Oh boy, the reflection on here slowed me down. Ah. Mirror's been removed. So this is our actual. Of course, we can flush the toilet. Oh. Let's see. I'm gonna take this out. No. We don't want that one. I'm gonna toss that onto the bed. I'm gonna actually take this one. There we go. Oh. That's another one of those lock boxes. Oh. Oh boy. Hold on. Can we develop a roll of film here? That would be I would be insane. If we could. Oh my goodness. This actually is making me sad that I can't look at any of these photographs. Like, I don't know why. Like, I wish I could look at them. This is just a dark room. Oh. That'll just close behind me, right? Yeah, okay. I've pretty much looked everywhere in the house. Downstairs, outside, I suppose? What is that over there? Oh wait, is that the horse? That's the horse. I'm like, the longer I'm playing this after that last scene with the hitman, like, the sadder I'm getting. I'm actually, like, getting more and more, like, sad about this. The Horse, Part 2.
All righty. Come on now. Come on now. That's good.
Oh. Sorry.
Brung you an apple. Granny Smith. Just like you like.
That's not Granny Smith.
You've been real. You know that. Brought me a lot of good luck. Good times. Without you, I don't, yeah, I do not know. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for all you've done. Gonna go ahead and leave the barn door open behind me when I go. You want to leave, you go find someone else. Figure I'll just, I'll leave you to it.
Don't I... Well, wouldn't I need to open the door? Oh, man. This is making me really sad. One more. Okay. One more for the road. What? Hey, one more for the road. You take care now. Man. There's so much, like, here that I haven't even looked at. I don't know how long this game is. There was a picture of this. I saw a picture of this. Is it just like... What is this a door to? A little hatch. I can't even activate that anymore. Man. And another one. It's a very nice looking game. It's making me sad though. Is that... Can you climb up on top of this? No. And what's down this way, I wonder? Just some, wheelbarrow. This is a right proper trail, isn't it? Where does this go? Huh. Sorry about the bag crinkling in the background. My wife's opening something. It's sad cowboy times. Stop making noise. We're getting ready to cry. Oh, what? You're telling me I can fish?
Come on.
Ah, I don't.
Oh, do not do that. Come on.
360, no fish.
Do that.
Is there like a way that I'm supposed to catch this fish? Am I supposed to click a lot? Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Nice catch.
Alright. Oh.
Come on.
Can I just click and hold?
Nice catch.
I did not expect fishing. I honestly did not expect fishing. Okay.
Nice catch.
Hold on just a moment. I just gotta check real quick. Okay, we're still.
Come on.
Oh. We got him, boys!
Oh, don't do that.
Oh, okay, so if it gets too red and we lose the fish.
Come on. Oh, don't do that.
So we keep trying until we get that particular fish, whatever it is the Admiral.
Come on.
That's not it, I don't think.
Ooh, nice catch.
Or maybe we'll never catch it. That's always a possibility. We'll just never actually catch it.
Come on. Oh, do not do that.
Oh, whoops, I wasn't paying attention. Let's try again. Oh. Oh, come on. I don't know what's going on now.
Come on.
Come on.
Nice catch.
Hey, we got Admiral. Master, Commander, achievement. Wonder how much there is to do here, you know, before the end. What else is around here? Little shack here. That is just the metal grating there. This is a very pretty game. This is a very pretty game. I can see why it took them so long. Well, not took them so long. I think it took them like 2 years to make this, but for 2 people to make all of this in that time. Is there... I can't splash in the shallow there. Aw. Where? Oh yeah, we came from there. Okay, so we'll just go right back up the path, I suppose. Oh man. Sorry about all the excess noise. Usually there's less of it. What's with all the tubs? A lot of tubs here. Okay, good. These are, you can't fall inside these, otherwise you'd probably get stuck. Big old trailer here. Oh, I thought, for some reason I thought those garages were this. Oh, this is still here. That's not supposed to be there. Yeah. Kind of odd though that you get a car running, but I mean, I understand this can only end one way, but he straight up helped you get a car running. Be quiet, cat. Cat's just making noise. Really? What's the, with this? Oh. Oh. Still don't know if this does anything. But yeah, there's that, the fact that you can get that car up and running. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It does make sense though, since your character's kind of at the end of his rope. He doesn't want to like do this anymore. It's like I get it. Does that rock disappearing when I go around here? I can't tell. Huh. There's just not really much. There's not really much else to be doing out here. Okay. Look at the what kind of screwdriver is this? I don't know. I don't rightly know. That's not the one I wanted. I don't want a Slurpo. Oh, wow. Slurpo, a delicious and chemically unstable fountain-style soda made from the finest mixed dioxygen and difluoride and natural flavors. Refined and refreshing. Caution. Ingredients. Yeah, I feel like this would, whatever this would kill you. No protein. Alright. Now I'm just curious. I want to... Unbearably good root beer. Oh, that's glorious. I love that. Ingredients. Water, sugar, sarsaparilla root, caffeine. Hold on just a second. Okay. Yeah, cats have a habit of finding the, like, most echoey room, and they'll go there and they'll just yowl. Make as much noise as possible. Really, 12? Oh, pardon me. 12. Yeah, caffeine. Okay, tap. All flavor soda. Every flavor. We didn't leave a single one out. Oh my god. Ingredients: water, battery acid, helium? How? Why? Hold on. Illegal contraband? Knives, rusty nails. What? Oh, that's amazing. Whoever Slime Cola, whoever did these, good on ya. I love it. Let's see. Trying to see here. Why are half of these sodas poisonous? Slam Cola. Cola drink. What was it? Carbonic acid. Water, sugar, caffeine. Sugar. Citric acid, caffeine, cola, coloring. Okay. Okay. Cool. And what about this one? We got... someone being a very loud gamer in the other room. Hopefully you don't hear that. Ingredients: water, sulfuric acid, sugar. Nice. Okay. Limo. It's not limo, it's limo. My bad. Doctor. No. That's not the one I asked for. There we go. Last one. The one soda to rule them all. I just had to investigate all these. What does that say? What in the world? Can I get it closer to my face, maybe? Oh, that's No, you cannot. Alright. First precept? Oh my gosh, it's so difficult to rotate this thing. Let's see. There was no such thing as... I can't read that. I can't read that, unfortunately. And we got one of these, like a more rusty root bear machine. And then another one that seems to be further along, actually, weirdly enough. Let me just, okay. The sky is very bright, but it looks pretty. Almost, huh. We could, we were sitting on this before. Apparently we could just walk through it. That's odd. I was kind of hoping I could sit on it and rock back and forth on it. Okay. Is there anything else we could do before the inevitable? I mean, I'm putting it off, most definitely. Definitely putting it off. Oh, poo-poo. The pigs are kind of unsettling. I don't really like them. Yeah, I'd say the only criticism I really have so far is just textures are not always consistent. That's really like the only like thing. You know, between I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's an optimization thing. I'm not sure. Oh, well. Bye, goats. Bye. Oh. Don't really know what else I could do here. Because I do want to kind of explore as much of it as possible, but I can't for the life of me think as to... What is that? Over here. This little cabin. Back here. It caught my attention earlier. There's just nothing here. There's a little barn back here. Not little barn, little shack. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of achievements in this game. Maybe I'm not as close to the end as I think I am. I thought it was like very short and you just kind of do all these things trying to sort of live as much as you can before the end, but the only thing we really found was playing the music in the house and fishing. Alright, well... Oh, uh-oh, did I break something? Uh-oh, did I break it? I really hope I didn't break it. Did I? Uh-oh. Maybe I'm just dumb. But this was a thing like that it was saying that I could do not a moment ago. It was saying that this was a scene I could approach. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yikes. I'm not sure. We're gonna restart the scene. Okay, well... Huh. That's not... That's, at the beginning of that... At the beginning of this scene... You could... use... You could go downstairs to the guns... Or you could go over to the horse. But, like, both were available at the same time, but I did a bit of wandering. did a bit of wandering around. I don't know exactly what I did. Oh boy. Not sure how I broke something. Nelson. This guy, Xavier Nelson Jr. It's not a guy. Isn't that a guy? Isn't that a real guy? Did he help work on this? I'm not sure. Yeah, no, it's not giving me... Hold on. Settings. Video. No. Settings. Bindings. No, not bindings. Game. Show. Okay, it's still not letting me do the gun thing. That's unfortunate. I don't know if I'm... Oh! Junk. Huh, okay, I didn't even... I wonder, do I, main menu? Continue. Uh-oh. I think I broke it. Wait, hold on. Handgun, inspect. Put down. Revolver. Oh. Or are we just supposed to go to bed or something? This got really confusing because the scene marker just disappeared. Oh, it does. It says Bill. Yeah. This does actually say the dot is just so big. So we can examine. So, okay. Oh my! This just drops my frames like nobody's business. We're gonna... boy, we're gonna restart the game. Shoot. We're gonna restart the game. I don't know what... Like, because there's always a possibility I'm just being dumb, right? Because that happens a lot. But I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. That is always a possibility. Alright, there we go. Just make sure it's showing up on the stream correctly. Cool, awesome. Alright, continue. Uh-oh. I don't know how to continue from here. There was a marker down there. There was a marker down here. And it's just gone now. I don't know if I did things out of order. Main menu. It's not a thing I expected. I did not expect to have this issue. Maybe I just did things. I did things so sorely out of order because I didn't want to. No, we might have to call this stream early just so I can retraverse ground we've already covered and come back to it later. I think I broke it. Like I said, like there's a possibility I'm just dumb, but I don't know. I really don't know. Huh. Yeah, I guess, I guess I'll call it. I guess I'm making this a short stream. I don't know what on earth is going on. Maybe it was fishing. Maybe it was doing because it starts you in the house. The game probably expects you to do the markers first, but I wanted to explore and I found the fishing. There's another wrench. Yeah, a wrench thrown into all of this, I suppose. Yeah, we'll make this a part 1. Magnum rounds. Oh wow, bullets. Yeah, I'll call this a part 1 for now. I'm very happy to say, you know, we're gonna have a new thumbnail for this. This could be the first thing with a new thumbnail. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I really like it so far. Yeah, off stream I'm start a new game and I'll recover some ground. Tomorrow we're gonna be playing some Skyrim, so that'll be fun. Yeah. Yeah, I think I broke it. I honestly think I broke it by doing things out of order, but you know, that's just the way it is. They're still working on it. They're still patching things, and I'll see if I can reproduce that even, because I can always tell them about any particular issues I had, and they're trying to take community feedback, and that's really important. I think that's really nice. Yeah, thank you to everybody who dropped in. Basically, all it was Jawa. Unfortunately, I'm playing an indie game that not enough people are talking about. Not enough people are talking about this. Not enough people are streaming it. That's a huge bummer. So I'm gonna keep trying to spread this game around as much as I can, but only have very limited reach. So if you end up watching this in the future, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me. If you enjoyed what you saw, this game is currently still being, patched and maintained. So just because I ran into an issue today doesn't mean that you're going to run into an issue tomorrow. I highly recommend this so far. It's making me feel feelings already. And I expected like feelings at the end, which we probably will. But yeah, stay tuned for that. We're probably, I may play Skyrim tomorrow. I may play Fallout tomorrow. I might finally start The Sims 2. I don't know. I'm always flying by the seat of my pants here. But thank you to everybody who watches, present and future. I was about to say past, present, and future. But yeah, it's very interesting so far. Like I said, the only real issue that I am having with it, obviously I had that, what might be a bug there, not sure. Like I said, it could be on personal incompetence, which I am known to have sometimes, but that was an issue there. But the only issue I've had so far, which isn't even too distracting, which is the sort of inconsistent quality of textures. I say definitely comparing like how the Hitman looks to the pigs, for instance. Like those are very much not really comparable. The pigs look kind of blurry, in all honesty. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate, but I'm really digging the style. Otherwise, yeah, everything else kind of looks almost like what's it called? What's like the shading that you'd what would you call the shading that's on like The Walking Dead? The Walking Dead Telltale games kind of reminds me a little bit of that, but also like sort of the environments are almost like a painting, somewhere like halfway between the two of those. Really digging the look of it. Like I said, I didn't know exactly what to be expecting when I came into this. I did not expect fishing, but that was fun. I enjoyed that. Always a plus to have fishing in your game. I quite enjoy fishing in like Animal Crossing or like Red Dead Redemption 2. So that was pretty good. Yeah, just thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'm going in between this, Skyrim, Fallout 4, and probably The Sims 2 here soon. We're going to be starting that up soon. After the stream, I am going to hassle Jawa for showing up and disappearing. I did look in the chat. I did see you. And then you left. You didn't say anything, but I saw you. Anyway, thank you for watching. God bless. Take care. Yeah, look forward to more improvements in the future. This video has a thumbnail. The channel is going to be getting some elements on it, and I'm kind of excited for finally making things look nice. But until then, yeah, like I said, God bless. Take care. Have a good evening. I don't know why it made the noise. Yeah, take care.